Hi, it's Paulette, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. So, today I wanted to talk about forgiveness, and this is a pretty deep subject to go over, to even talk about, because everybody's got a different take, spin on forgiveness. So, a lot of people think that if you forgive a situation, forgive a person, that they're winning. And that's really furthest from the truth. So if you forgive, you're really winning, because when you're not forgiving, you're not overcoming, you're the one that's hurting. And there's no one more important than yourself. So I can remember a time in my life when I was really angry. I attracted a lot of negative things to me, and that was for me to learn from those experiences. I wouldn't have attracted them if I'd known better. So obviously I needed to learn something from that, and that's why I tell others that have gone through something, what did you learn? And if they say nothing, I know it's going to be repeating again in their life. You have to learn something. It may not be the complete, you know, learning from that experience, but you have to come back with something. And if you come back with nothing, it's going to repeat in your life. So, and anger is not healthy um, for you. It either makes you a very angry person, a depressed person, just not happy. So being out of the situation does not mean that it's been corrected. You have to do inner work in order to overcome the situation. So when I was going from one bad situation to another, excuse me, I was like, why do I keep attracting this? You know, what's the problem? So when I realized that it was me that I needed to work on, I started like I said, I went on YouTube. I'm a firm believer in taking care of your own health, your own well-being. I mean, the only reason why people become doctors or psychiatrists or whatever their profession is because they learned it. And it doesn't make them any better of a person just because they have a degree in it. That's my take on that. So when I've been through a lot. I've been through all the abuses that you can imagine. The physical, the sexual, the verbal, emotional abuse, which I think that is the worst, because with the other two abuses, the sexual and the physical abuse, you emotionally abuse yourself. They don't even have to be abusing you that way, but you continue with the same situation with your own thoughts. So that's why it's very important to work on your mental health. And yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how important it is on their thoughts. Words mean things. And so your thoughts are words. You're putting some meaning into what you're thinking. And why not put positive things into your head? So that's why I reprogram. Was, I was, I said I have to reprogram my mind. I just have to. So I slept with headphones and at night listening to things. I have no idea, but I trusted them. They say be careful what you listen to, and they were from trusted people that I wanted, because they were just so comforting, and I wanted that comfort in my life. So you have to remain strong, and you have to speak nice to yourself. So I remember one morning I woke up and I I felt like a new person, and I was like, what happened? Because I just felt like I was in a different world, and not that I thought about it, but I knew my anger was gone because I was in a really bad, verbally abusive marriage, and I don't know how many years. It was maybe a couple of years after the divorce. You think if you're out of the home and out of that environment that you feel better. In a sense, you kind of do, but not really, because you still need to work on yourself. And I was working on myself before the actual divorce. It was not a pretty divorce, but I did it. I overcame, and yeah, it was a struggle, but I was determined not to, even though it took 6 years. It was a 6 year battle. Um, yeah, it was pretty bad. But so all the positive words and the videos that I was engulfing actually worked. It was like the vitamins in my daughter's life that she stopped it because she didn't think that they were doing anything. But you don't know what it's doing until you see the proof. I mean, you know it's you know things are invisible. I mean, we all have a spirit, and that spirit never dies. That goes on, and it leaves you, and it's energy. Your thoughts are energy. So patience is the key to all of this. Is to patience isn't in everything in life. You have to be patient and keep going on the path that you want to be on, and eventually in time everything does work out. You just don't know how deep everything is until, because over time, that's damage has been done. And it takes, it's just like gaining weight. It's like so easy to put it on, but then when you want to take it off, it takes forever. It takes forever. And it doesn't make sense, but that's just how it is because there's emotions attract to that. So some people might need counseling. Because they need that in their life. Everybody's different, so you have to see what works for you. Um, I had restrictions. Actually, um, I was so depressed because I had like surgery, and that was kind of like the tipping scale of my marriage. That opened my eyes to who he really was, and they wanted to put me in the hospital because I was so depressed, and he refused for me to go get counseling. They wanted to put me in the hospital for depression. I mean, that's horrible, and that was all because of him. And then he was restricting me from from bettering myself. He wanted to keep me trapped. He wanted to keep me down. He wanted to control me, and yeah, I saw through all of that, and I willingly gave away my power to him. I thought that was the thing to do, and um, yeah, it was things you learn and all your experiences, and don't say that they're bad because it was something that you needed to learn, and he still is the way he is today. He still wants to control. His own children don't even like him, and I don't speak negative about him because I think that's something that they need to see, and they did see it. And one, she just hides from him, and the other just really doesn't, but want to associate with them. But I think she's using him for what she needs him for. That's her. it's her life to learn. I can say certain things, but it's up to the individual to actually learn. If it didn't click, then obviously you're not ready to move on to the next level. So don't continue to be a victim, because you're victimizing yourself when you continue with the situation. They don't even have to be there, and you're beating your own self up. So learn to forgive is to overcome the situation, overcome whatever it is that you're dealing with, and elevate yourself. And then you'll stop attracting people that hurt you. So remember, it was never about you. So whatever happened, um, it was never about you. It was about them. It was about what they're going through. You were just the person that was there for them to take it out on. So I have a friend that recently spoke to me about something that happened to her many, many years ago. And I pointed, in the end of her story, it was about a gentleman, an older gentleman that was at a store, and the cashier was being really mean. And she basically had enough with how she was treating him. And so she actually, she's so ballsy. She impresses me, because I don't know if I could even do that. But everybody's different. Everybody has their own, let me call it superpowers. And if everybody was the same, life would be boring. So she's put in this world to speak up for others, whether she knows it or not. She's very powerful. And but in this situation, the cashier was being mean. My friend had enough with this cashier, and so she spoke up for this elderly man, and she got the manager to come to the front of the store, and turned out that he fired the cashier. I mean, it was funny, because, and this is why I say she's got superpowers, and she don't know that. People around her were noticing it. And when the manager came up, everybody decided, they were going to chime in. Oh, yeah, she's always mean, and she's never nice to anybody. But did they ever do anything about it? No, it was my friend that did something about it. But since she spoke up, at least they did speak up. And she said when she went outside, the girl was outside smoking, and my friend said to her, why do you gotta talk like that? And her response was, my parents spoke to me that way. And like I said to my friend, I said, see, it was how she was raised. She don't know any different. It's not that she's a bad person. And she's like, well, what about all the other things in her life that she's seen, and didn't she connect the dots? I said, obviously not. I mean, she's used to that. She has to want the change. And just because she doesn't see it, maybe, she's too closed-minded. I mean, a lot of people are closed-minded. And they don't, I'm like, I believe in all kinds, not really believe, but I'm interested in all sorts of things, because I want to expand my mind, because we only believe what we've been taught. And if we don't reach out and expand on different things other than what we've been taught, how do we know it's not true? So that's what I want to say about that situation and forgiveness, because It's important to realize it was never about you. It's about the person that does it to you. But now that they did it to you, now it's about how you perceive that and what you do with it afterwards. So I probably could talk a lot more about this, but um, it's very important to forgive if you want to be happy. And sometimes it's not easy, um, but to forgive and move on. Remember, it was never about you. It's all something for you to learn from. And yeah. So I wish you all have a great day, and I love you all. Thanks for watching.